So, this is part 2, I guess, of the Thunderhawk build. Well, I wasn't really going to be do this in 2 parts. I was just going to go off and paint it and just be done with it, really. But a few of you put in a request that you wanted to see your see it getting painted, so I've done it and it's here. So let's not beat around the bush. Let's get on with it. Let's show you what I've got on with. But before we do that, please like, please share, please subscribe. All free, take seconds, helps out the channel immensely. Really does. It means a world of difference to me. Anyway, enough of the shilling. Let's get thrilling. First things first. I just remembered I forgot to show this on the part 1. So this is the cockpit. This is what I've done for the cockpit. Unfortunately, there's a lot of white plastic on it, so it's going to blow out the video a little bit, so apologies for that. But I wanted you to see it in the raw form so you could see what was kit and what was plastic card. So essentially, it's the Ravenwing Stormraven cockpit turned round. So that would usually be the top, and that would be the bottom. I then split it in half, straight down the middle. Use some Foamex to widening it to the width I needed. And then a bit of sprue in there to give me just like another bit of a cockpit support. Plastic card to fill up some of the edges and a bit of sanding and beveling. And then made this plastic card shape and stuck it to the bottom, flip it over, and that sits on top of the cockpit quite nicely. The hinges I was particularly pleased with. I don't know if you can see these. I'll try and let's have a look. Can you see them? You're gonna focus. There we go. So they are actually 2 las cannon barrels from the StormFang. Does that come with las cannons? I think it does. I think it's a StormFang. But anyway, there's 2 sort of snub las cannon barrels. And they've just had the actual barrel section cut off, the sort of nozzle section, stuck them on back to back, dump, and that will make the hinge. Well, they won't actually hinge, but that'll be sort of showing, where the hinge would actually work. So yeah, that's the cockpit all done. Quite pleased with that. I think that came out quite well. Again, I can't wait to get it all sprayed up so it's all one colour. That's the time when models start to look really good. So, talking about getting things sprayed up, check this out. So there we are, all one colour. Well, 2, sort of. We'll get to that in a minute. So yeah, so it's had its I'm sure it's got a proper word, when you spray it on one colour and kind of, I don't know, what is it, a unifying kit. Let's call it a unifying coat. Yeah, there we go. That's a poncy enough phrase. So it's its unifying coat, which is what I do to all scratch builds, especially when I'm using lots of different materials, lots of different colours. Give it that unifying coat of grey. It just gives you an idea and a sense of the model, really, And also, if you're using a spray undercoat, it means you don't have to be, you won't get sort of patches here, there, and everywhere. So that's next. So yeah, it's had its coat. So the next coat, as it's going to be for my salamanders, is a nice coat of green skin spray from Army Painter. No, they don't sponsor me. Nobody sponsors me. In fact, give me a sub. Go on, do it now. Stop what you're doing. Put down that biscuit. Put down that cup of tea and click the subscribe button. There. Done. That's it. You're done. That's it. I no longer have to ask anything of you. You're all done. Lovely. Subscribe. Anyway, so what I've done as well, I've given the cockpit a bit of a blast of red. It's not all going to be red. It was just, because it's going to have 2 sort of tech marine pilots. I just wanted to give them, give me a, it's not going to be easy getting in there with a brush. So I thought I'd probably be easier to do everything else silver and black around the outside of the legs. So that's all done as well. I've built the pilots, and they'll be sprayed separately as well. And then paint those bits on, stick them together. I can then glue that in, mask that off, spritz, job done, Cockpit on the front. Bob's your uncle and Fanny's your aunt. So that's next. Let's get it all sprayed a lovely green. Ready for the salamanders, and then we'll go into actually how I'm going to paint this beast. I won't be using oil washes on this one because I've got 2,000 points of army I've already painted, and it needs to fit in with that colour scheme. So we'll be using the airbrush. Be kind to my airbrush. It's old, and I've not looked after it very well. But you know, I will be. I need to get a new one, really. Anyway, enough of that. That'll be in the next section. So off I go to do some sprayy. Yeah, but hopefully I can get that done soon because it's still chucking it down here in England. It's been raining for the last 2 weeks, so it's been a bit of a nightmare. Anyway, on to the undercoat. It's not easy being green. Bloody liar, Kermit. It's very easy. Army paint the green skin spray. Spritz. Job's a good one. So yes, all done. All sprayed green. Lovely. Obviously these bits are still separate because I've got a paint inside and the cockpit's now all sprayed up, ready to go. And the side's all done. Happy doodles. So yeah, all nice and green. So next stage is we'll be at the Airbrush Station. Listen to me, Airbrush Station. It's just a table with an airbrush in it. Airbrush Station. What a ponce. Anyway, yeah, so that's next. At the airbrush. I shall try to make the compressor as quiet as possible because I've got one of the small Iowata ones where the actual tank is the handle, so it goes off more. The compressor goes off more than most compressors anyway. So that's next, yeah. We'll get on the airbrush and we'll give it a bit of a shade in places, and yeah, we'll get this bad boy finished and ready for a game next week, which would be cool. I might even be able to film that game. I wonder if I can film that game. There's a possibility. Okay. Yeah. See you later. Right. So, been airbrushing up the Thunderhawk. Just got this side to do. So I thought I'd quickly just run through what I actually do with my airbrush. I am in no way a skilled airbrush operator. I just know what I know. I know what I know, and that's about it. I use an Iowata Eclipse. I've had this through about, that's the compressor. That'll go off a few times, unfortunately, because it's got a small tank. But yeah, so I use an Iowata Eclipse. Had this about 10 years now, unfortunately. Well, fortunately, actually. It has been abused. I used to use it a lot as a work airbrush. So it got an awful lot of abuse. It's been cleaned and bits have been changed, but you know, at some point I will be getting a new one. Bless it. But at the moment, it does me. So what I've got here is I've got the Thunderhawk has been painted with the army painted green, and then what I've got here, I've got, as you can see there, is called Sally Shade, and this is a darker green that I mixed up for my salamanders. All my salamanders are painted in this way. I will be doing a video actually of my salamanders, just show you what they all look like. I'm going to wait until this Thunderhawk, but you know, we'll see. I was going to wait till the Thunderhawk's finished. I don't know. It all depends how long it takes me to get this bad boy done. It is a bank holiday weekend, so I've got some stuff to do with the kids. But anyway, so here we go with the airbrush. So all I'm really doing is going in with the airbrush and giving it a bit of a gradient from dark to light, and then going in sort of the rough areas where shade would go. So I'm not, as I say, this isn't any sort of fine airbrushing. This is just blocking on. You can't even see what I'm doing. This is just blocking in where the shadows would fall. As I say, this is not how to airbrush. This is not a tutorial. This is just how I do it. The good thing with the airbrush is obviously if you go a bit too heavy, I can go back in with a green that's a similar shade to the army painter one, and just go over the top of it and just knock it back a bit. So that's what we'll do at some point. But as I say, all this is doing is just giving me a gradient from dark to light. It just gives it a little bit more depth to the colour, actually. Just make some interest on those large flat panels that you get with all marine vehicles. Like so. And as I say, this is not a tutorial. This is not the way to airbrush, most probably, but it's the way I do it. So I just go in and I give it an all over place, you know, a bit of tone in places, and it just gives that depth of field to the green that's already on there. All my marines done this. All my vehicles are done this way. And when I do the little video showing you my salamanders, you'll see what I mean. So yeah, get that all done. Also, this is nice when I do the next stage, which is the black lining. That really gives it a little bit of interest as well, and I'll show you that. Right there, let's put the airbrush down there. I'm just going to turn the compressor off because I'm going to be talking a bit here. There we go. Right, so yeah, I don't know if you can see on this side, but I've actually started to black line as well. And the way I black line is I literally use a 0.1 black lining pen, and I just go in and trace. Let's see if I can do it here. Trace along the edges, like so. And if you do get wibbly wobbly, like I have there, all you need to do, get the tiniest bit of water, so really damp, just a damp brush, not wet, just damp, and you can just blend it out like that. So that's how I do my black lining. Again, that's how I also do it on my troops. So that's that stage. So next stage is, well, clear out this airbrush of the darker shade. I'll then use what green is it I use? It's Warpstone Glow, and I'll just give that a dust over the whole model, and it just knocks back some of the where I've gone really dark around here. It just knocks that back a bit, and well, you'll see how it looks like when right at the end of the video when the whole thing's done. But I'll do the Salamanders video as well, and you'll see how it's. It's a very quick way of painting up a marine vehicle. Actually, well, most vehicles actually, but it tends to work a little bit on a bit better on marine vehicles because you can give it that crisp edging to make them just that little bit more sci-fi and technologically more advanced than say Imperial Guard. Okay, so let that dry and black line in, and then we'll go on to the edge highlighting. Okay. Okay, that is the varnish all applied to lock in the airbrushing, and now all I'm doing is a little bit of edge highlighting using Scarstick green. There you go, focused. There you go, Scarstick green. Now, I don't edge highlight every single edge because that would just drive anyone mental. I'll just pick out the ones I can get to and ones that I think are necessary. So, I would, this has got a hard edge here. Just go along there with your Scarstick green using the side of your brush. And that's pretty much it. That's all I need to do, really. Go along this edge here. Like so. Just picking out those, yeah, just picking out the ones that you think are going to give you more impact. So around the engines as well, and the Scarlet Green really works well in the darker areas that I've airbrushed earlier. Oh, that was a bit too close. Ooh, that was right in your face, wasn't it? It's not easy to do with the not easy to do with the camera right in front of you, but hopefully you're getting the idea. Just running it down all the prominent hard edges to give you a bit of a highlight. And so yeah, this is basically how I paint all my Salamanders and all my Salamanders vehicles. So yeah, got to do that. That's what I've got to do next, and then after that I'll be going in and some of these areas here, and some probably there, and probably the doors, maybe in here. I'll be adding some black details as well, just to give it a little bit more life, and some markings and stuff. Maybe on the tailplane I do a black stripe, and the wings on the back. So I've got me Tamiya masking tape. So yeah, let's get this highlighting done, and then yeah, onto the black. Yeah, that'll be next. Here we are, getting all taped up, ready for its markings, and to paint all the black areas. So I've just started in there. So, and I'm going to paint all these black as well, and possibly the doors here, because they will get Salamanders symbols as well. Oh, these guns need painting as well. So yeah, let's get the black markings done, and then onto the silver and gold. A couple of washes, and then we're going to be pretty much ready for battle, really. Yeah, let's just get going. Cool. Right, so let's just. This is Tamiya 6mm. 6mm? Yeah, 6mm masking tape. Abaddon black. Bit of water on the old palette. Perhaps too much water on the palette. Hang on, there's a bit more paint then. This Abaddon black's quite low on paint. That's why I've got another one ready to go over there. Let's have a go then. And literally just a couple of coats where I want the markings to be, really. That's simple as. I'm not going to go right to the edges, because I will do that freehand, because I haven't masked down the backs of the wings. So yeah, that'll be like that. So that'll be on there. And I'm gonna do the same long. Now I've got a nice hard edge here, so I'll be using that, using the hard edges as natural masking, and then just go along, feather the edge along the masking tape there. I'm going to bring that round to here. I think that look quite sweet. Then then I won't do the doors. If I bring this make this the whole panel black, then I won't do the doors. That could be quite nice, actually. Break up the green a bit. So go along there, finish that all off. Now, this is obviously this is going to be black. Now, what you're going to see is I don't highlight this in any way, shape, or form. I rarely highlight black, unless I was doing something like a Black Templar or Sister of Battle, or you know, that kind of, you know, a predominantly black miniature. I won't highlight. I won't do the edge highlights of this black bit, because you don't need it, especially on a vehicle. They're so big. Especially when I want to give it a coat of varnish, they're so big, they'll naturally highlight themselves. So there just is no point in going back and fine lining all this. So I just don't bother, and it really doesn't. When I do my video and show you the rest of my Salamanders, I just don't think it matters. It really, really doesn't add anything, and it just cuts down your painting time by not doing it, which is, you know, for me, that's a win. The less painting, you know. It's all about tricking the eye and getting it, you know, getting it done, really, but getting it done to a level that you're happy with. And as I say, I'm happy with not highlighting black. It's You know, it's one of the more difficult colours to highlight. I can do it. I can highlight black. It's just not one of my favourite colours to highlight. So I tend not to bother, especially on if it's a secondary colour, that kind of thing. So just going to go around there like that. So yeah, that's what the markings are going to be like so. So I've got to finish off this side and then crack on to the other side. Hopefully we'll get this bad boy done soon. So I'm just ploughing on getting the black done on the Thunderhawk, but I'm just about to peel off the masking tape, which is always fun times. So let's do it, shall we? Here we go. Oh yeah, it's always good when you peel off. I think Adam Savage describes it as like it being Christmas when you peel off masking tape. Here we go. Oh, okay, we're a little bit scrunchy across there, but we'll sort that. Let's have a look. What else we got? Start it off around here. Sorry, you're just going to have to see me. Hang on. Here I go. There we go. Right, ready? Oh, yeah. Crispy lines. Nice. Cool. Groovy. Nice crisp lines. And then 2 at once. Should we do 2 at once? Here we go. Yes. That looks awesome. So, got to do that on the other side. Obviously, finish off painting these bits as well. But, and do that for the other side. And then what I might do is then, because I've been handling this quite a lot, is I'm just going to go over with the Scarstick Green again on some of the edges where I know it's rubbed, and then another quick blast of varnish just to protect those highlights, because I am handling this quite a lot. But cool, it's coming on, people. It's coming on. Should be finished in time, hopefully. Woohoo! Here we go. Right, so that's the black all done, and quick dust coat in the varnish as well to keep it protected. You also know I went a bit mad with the masking and put it on some additional markings. I was just getting into the masking quite nicely. I was liking the reveal, and it also just breaks it up to make it, it gives it a little bit of a different distinction between this and the rest of the army, because this is kind of like part of the air crew, so to speak. So what's next? So what's up next is a bit touch of the old Iron Hands steel. And that's going to be for engines, landing gear, this engine-y bit here, this engine gear here, gun barrels of this bad boy, and the las cannon. So that's that then. And then some gold for the eagles and the nozzles. That's got to be silver. The outside of, and then a wash to dull that down. And then these cowlings would need to be black as well, so that's all good there. And then I've got to go and sort out the crew in here as well. The top half are off at the moment. They've just been sprayed red. So yeah, I've got to paint all the inside of this ready, so I can put them in, put it all together, and have a finished Thunderhawk gunship ready for play, basically. I said I'm going to put logos on the doors. They're printing at the moment. So, they're not printing at the moment. They will be being printed. But I'm out of resin. I'm waiting. It's a bank holiday weekend, so I'm waiting for some resin to turn up. But this will fit in my army nice as it is. So, on to the silver. Here we go. Oh, we're tantalisingly close now, ladies and gents. Tantalisingly close. So, let's have a look. Metallics are done, and they've had a bit of a wash. And then, so I need to give them a little tickle with the old dry brushing. So I shall go over the silvers with the original silver, the gold I go over with the original gold, and then I'll add a little bit of Vallejo chainmail, which is brighter than the iron, what's it called? Iron Hands steel, and give that a little tickle here and there. That should be quite nice. And then just finish off the cowlings on here. What else? Oh yeah, crew's done. As you can see, I've got the lid on now. You can just make out their feet. So hello, you can just make out their feet in there. So that's the crew all done. Let's see if you can see me firing up the... For some reason I kept this opening and closing. I don't know why. Let's have a look. Can you see him in there? Hang on. Oop. No. No. I know they're in there, so that's fine. So yeah, that's all done. Right, let's get this done, and then we can call it finished. Huzzah and hurrah! And boom, there we go. We are all done, and as they say, dusted. Properly happy with that. I think it looks really good. The paint job, it's a basic paint job. It's not, it's not going to win any golden demons or win any painting awards in a tournament. Well, it might. You never know. But it's not what I set out for. It's for my army. So it's above tabletop, which is all I want from my Salamanders army. And that's all I'm going to ever go for. So there you go, guys. You can do it. You can build a Thunderhawk gunship for just under £100. Give it a fairly decent paint job, and I think it looks pretty darn spiffing. Well chuffed with that.